Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a game on our hands. We've got the Dolphins going up against the Sydney Roosters. Interesting looking at the squad we have today. Obviously debuting our newer sides. Some interesting changes. Of course, you have the Roosters bringing in Chad Townsend to the halves. And a splattering, if you will, a dash of changes. The Dolphins, they come out looking how you expect to see them. Nikorima and Katoa in the halves. Otherwise, a fairly routine sight here at Suncorp Stadium. More football in the heartland of the game. I'm joined by Ethan on the side here.
Yeah. Definitely prospects to be a lovely game with Jermaine Sarko looking to get us underway. Roosters have quite the good team on paper, but then the Dolphins just have the hammer and he can cause so much pain through the middle for the defenders. And back to you.
Speaking of pain in the middle, it's Collins going to get us off with the first run. Good offload there to Nat Butcher. Punch through the middle. I think the Roosters will probably take this one in the middle if it becomes an arm wrestle. But then again, you really cannot discount the game-breaking ability of a player like the Hammer.
Yeah, definitely. But then you've also got the stars on the Roosters, such as James Tedesco. And James Tedesco can prove he's a difference maker. And Thomas Flegler, oh, what a kick!
Massive boot there. It's going to be a bit too much on it for the Roosters, unfortunately. So, Thomas Flegler's a big out, although Mark Nichols keen to make his mark on this contest. We don't need Thomas. They're going to keep running ahead. That's a really great dummy from Katoa. Young half there, making his mark. A business student, you wouldn't call it, but... Oh, that's a bit of an error there, but that's okay. They're going to pick it up and keep going. Nikorima taking at the tackle. That's second. 2 down, but they're across the halfway line, the Dolphins. Immediately not struggling. Certainly not struggling after that run from Averillo to make meters. It's a good set for them so far. Saifidi, good offload to Mark Nichols. Nichols will take it down for the 4th tackle. 2 more for the Finns. Marshall King out to Katoa. He's going to spread it to Plath. Tries to make a little push through the middle with a bit of ball work. In terms of options here, it's going to go to Katoa. He's going to grubber it. Unfortunately, it's going to be recovered. Oh, is that a dropout? No, just barely.
It isn't.
Just barely.
Chad Townsend does a really good job of staying in, but it's just this Dolphins defense is not going to let the Roosters go anywhere. They just need to come up with something here with one of their star players, as Nafao White proves he's a great player with the performances he can put up. Great feeling for Lindsay. No, for Spencer.
Spencer Lenu out to start the season, I presume. So yeah, no, it's big shoes to fill there, and good speed for a front rower looking at this break there.
Definitely needs a good kick here. Let's just compliment how well the Dolphins have started off this game, just going into this contest as the pure dominant team. Just if they can win it early, I don't see the Roosters getting back into it.
No, it's been a quick effort already, kind of smothering them in the half, in attack and defense. So we'll see what comes of that. That's a good run up the side from Asako. Careful to stay in on the side there. It's a good effort so far. We just got to make sure that for them, that effort is maintained, because the Roosters aren't a side you can particularly sleep on. You got a lot of experienced players. You got Tedesco, Townsend. Now he's been around the block. He's not by any means a new player. They know how to manipulate the game and keep their team in it to outlast a younger side like the Dolphins.
Oh, that's not a good last tackle option here, because the Roosters are those type of teams who love set play and they will punish you on set play.
I would imagine the Roosters are a side that will just keep turning out plays. You're not gonna tire them out, I don't imagine. Whereas the Dolphins, I could imagine playing slightly too hot. Oh, that's a bad error there. That's going to be a knock on. Victor the self-inflictor.
Not a great start. Definitely think the coach needs to find a way to get a message through as soon as possible.
Oh, Hammer nearly breaks the line.
Makes the line break.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's early days still, and no points are on the board just yet. But you don't want to see this I mean, yeah, we'll see as we get closer to halftime what the possession is. That's a great run. Cheeky offload. Nearly gets away for points there. I don't know. It's very early. Oh, we could be looking at something here. Plath unable to break over. Options here. So what do the Dolphins have? They can obviously... You've got Marshall King. You've got Katoa in there. Who's their 6? That'll be Nicarima,
Cody
correct?
Nicarima, they've got a really good spine.
You've got a cheeky spine there, which really could be dangerous. Okay, Katoa's going to put it up. Who can finish that off? Hammer's going to
Oh,
finish it.
hammer time.
Beautiful footwork. Does well to get to that one. And you expect nothing less.
Yeah, you don't expect anything less from that because he's just one of those players who's quick on his feet, even with his stepping. Once it's tapped back, he's not getting stopped, and just too easy for the hammer. The Roosters need something off this kickoff and need to hold him back. And
It's just the footwork and speed and the vision that he's adding to his game that's going
oh,
to mean
that's a
you
rare
can't give him
miss.
an... Yeah, no, that you would think he'd slot that one. But that's all right. A lot of time left in this game. The way that Ham's developing as a player, he's already got the incredible footwork and speed. As soon as he's starting to develop vision, and once you've got that, you can't give this guy an inch of space before he's just going to explode through any gap that you give him.
Yeah, because he's one of those players who can explode up to 40 kilometers an hour, and that's not slow at all. And as Saifidi gets leveled here,
No, it's definitely funny to think back barely 2 years ago when we were talking about, the Roosters. Sorry, not the Roosters, the Dolphins. Who's their marquee man going to be? What are they going to? Who are they going to pull? And it was like, oh, Hammer. I don't know about that one, but credit to him, he's absolutely destroyed the mold. Had some ripper Origin games in the time since that signing, and really cemented himself as their guy.
yeah, and oh no, that's a horrible kick. Oh no,
Not a great result for
I
the
was
Roosters.
wrong. Oh, this is just how do
No,
I
it
put
it
it?
didn't go deep at all, but the angle on it has just proved too tricky for the Chooks here.
How do I put it? Angus Crichton. He's just one of those players who you think can just cause that difference off that not not a great kick, and then try and get over for the Roosters, but doesn't seem like it.
Hammer nearly finds space and gets an offload to find Marshall King some space. Saifidi back round and around. Some footwork from the big 8. Play though to Kafusi. Kafusi, a man of experience, finds just a bit of oomph to get through. Marshall King to Nicarima. Nicarima long ball out to Plath. Plath gets a cheeky offload. Lemalu down with the ball on the last. Options, obviously, we've discussed, are plentiful for the 5th tackle for the Dolphins. Nicarima puts it up, and Dom Young does well to get up, but he's pushed into touch. That's going to be a dropout for the Dolphins.
It's just, can we see something change within the momentum of the game? Because it's not seeming like it. It's 4-0, easily could be 10-0, but the Roosters defense is holding its own. They just need something else to go for them, and just that little click and attack that Sam Walker would provide, but he's not here to do that.
No, your organising playmakers like Sam are a massive out for the team at the moment. The With this level of possession, you would expect a few more points, but that's a great break from Kafusi. Just spoke about his experience in finding space before, but with this level of field position, you would expect more points, but we are only 40 minutes into this contest, but it's really coming up. I was going to say red and white, but red and gold.
I mean, anything can happen here, such as a bomb. It's a
Big
good
bomb from
bomb.
Katoa.
Just will they score in the same way that they did?
Oh,
As
just
Daniel
short of the
Tupou
line.
gets wrapped up. Mm.
Nothing much going for the prop there. The Roosters prop. Really need to make it out of their own end here. As Radley, he's going to take it into his own hands. Gets him just shy of the 30. A good effort from the lock. Just putting the game on his back. Collins doesn't have the same luck. 4th tackle now. 4-0. Dolphins up as we reach 16 minutes on the clock.
On the
Crichton takes it
40.
down on the 5th, just on the 40. Roosters 40, that is. Not a massive
Not a very.
kick to Hammer. He could make some room. Doesn't get away with it this time. Very flat pass to Kafusi on the edge. He's going to get his time over the 50. So that's already Dolphins' second tackle into the opposition's half. Just like that, Katoa leveled there.
This has definitely been the Roosters' best defensive set so far. If they can just get a good kick return here, like Dom Young and Daniel Tupou are such weapons and they know what they're doing.
Yeah, no, they really need to get those players out, find them some space, and that comes down to your halves and your organising players. If they can create some room for those quick, strapping young men, we could be looking at something here. As we're just shy of 20 minutes. There's Nat Butcher. He's going to find some space. Great little pass. Actually finds a wide, some more space. Another offload to Radley. And that's the Roosters now back just barely into the opposition's half. Is the momentum about to shift? Great step from Tedesco. Not quite enough to get away. Brendan Smith going short side to Dom Young. Dom Young wrapped up by a committee of 2. 4 tackle now. They've got 2 left to play with the Roosters. Do they kick early? No, they don't. Watson tries to run.
Their best offensive set so far. Just now proving how good their systems are offensively. And as Radley's got quite the big boot today.
Yeah, definitely the best set for the Roosters so far in this match. Keeping in mind we are only 20 minutes in. It's been a really dominant quarter for the Dolphins, but I think we're going to see this open up just a little bit now as the Roosters start to settle into the contest, and I think that'll be the long-term strategy. Settle into the contest, let the Dolphins run themselves hot, and it'll open up for the Roosters as we get into the second half.
Might look at an early kick here, and that's what we're going to get.
Great boot from Katoa.
Great boot.
Really excellent
Just
kick
doesn't
from the
have
young
the
half.
angle.
What is this, his 3rd year in the NRL now?
Third
And you wouldn't
year,
know
and
it.
It just looks like he's such a veteran of the game, and he's not.
No, he's barely, I believe, 20 years of age. 20 years of age, 3 years in NRL. Foundation clubman for the Dolphins NRL campaign.
And that looks really, and that's just based off how good his World Cup was with Tonga. He was so good,
He's
and then
speak of the devil. He's
Katoa's
found some
away.
space here. And just like that, he's gotten his team, slotted them straight 35 meters out from their line. Kafusi's putting in a lot of work this half. I imagine we'll see him retire to the bench. Plays a little bit of ball playing there for Finakoku.
And if the Roosters can win if the Roosters can win the battle anywhere, it's now when their bench forwards are on, because Siwa Long and Va are no slouches. And
No, the game. We'll see the game changer now. That is for sure. As we get into the second quarter, bench soldiers will be activated. Katoa puts up another one. It's a high one, not very deep. Caught by Brendan Smith.
Billy Smith.
Billy Smith. Pardon me. Out the Sunners. Bit of an adventurous play out to Wong towards the middle. Not much going. Out to Crichton. Post contact meter is good for Crichton so far. Watson spreads it left to Townsend. Townsend to Tedesco. That's a great little link up there, but not much going. With Tedesco's age, you can't discount his experience, but he just doesn't find gaps like he used to.
Yeah, he's not as electric as he used to, though. As he used to be. He was such a great, quick player in 2019 and 2018. Like, really key from the Roosters at the back. Still is today, just not as good as he used to be and not as quick.
No, but you see the great players, they learn to factor that into their plays, and you'll probably see it start to just level out. It all comes out in the wash, like that experience. And you might get a little bit slower, but that experience counts for I'd say a lot more because you look at a player like Dom Young, he's quick, but he hasn't exactly had breakout seasons in for a while.
Yeah, if you're talking about Dom Young, all Dom Young really needs to do is figure out if he can figure out how to step consistently and really, really well. Dom Young's easily going to be a threat.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's
Ref not calling knock on that
never
one.
mind. Calls a Falcon, and it's a forward pass.
It all comes out in the wash. The Dolphins overheat, and this is what I was talking about. If they start not being too careful with this, the Dolphins are just going to run themselves in circles, and that's when the Roosters will settle into this contest and just play their game. Watson spreads to 14. He's going to spread. Keep going deep.
Look at the size of though.
Big chap. Big chap for sure. Wong wrapped up, but he keeps pushing. Gets his team just shy of their own half.
These bench forwards that they have on right now are so strong and resilient.
They're not making massive meters, but just you see them get wrapped up and they keep pushing for another 5. And so if they're playmakers, that's a great run there from the rugby transfer. I won't insult him as to try and pronounce that name.
No longer think Owaze.
Yeah, see, that's... I'm going to have to spend a couple nights reading over that one.
I'm pretty sure you can just go onto YouTube or TikTok and find the
I'll find
story
no, but
how to
even
say that.
look, someone can explain it to me, but you know, it's like look, Fasilumala Awi took me a couple weeks. I'll be honest, that's a great hit.
I've just been practicing for these moments. Every time I hear that a long last name's coming into the NRL, I'm straight on learn how to pronounce it.
Really fine stuff from the Dolphins here. Some very flat passes, flat and far passes. Usually the types that you see, you know, you start to see the ball floating and you worry about the possibility of interception. But the Dolphins there playing with fire, but they're not scared as they wrap up Don Young on the Roosters 20. Still 4-0. Not as many points as you'd think in this contest. It's really all coming out in the wash in the way that you've seen. Oh, that's a great pass and good footworks. Smith now getting some space. It's been a real arm wrestle, like not quite the amount of points you'd expect from teams of this caliber, but I guess that's what you get in a contest like this.
James Tedesco, as we said, he's just grown into more of a great passing player. Never used to pass a lot, and now he's just loves to throw around the ball.
And see, that links up perfectly with, oh, that's a bad error. That really dissolves the tension for the Dolphins. But yeah, you know, as we're touching on in the way that these players, these veterans evolve, you start to see how they tailor their game plans and their actions to better suit their more contemporary skill sets. And so you're going to see Tedesco organizing and knowing his shapes and setting up his younger players with maybe a bit more speed for that. That's a terrible pass.
Siwa Wong might be away. Oh,
that's a bad error from the Dolphins. Just playing too slick with it, getting too adventurous, and they're probably going to let it in a try here.
Yeah, the Roosters aren't gonna not try score here, and Dom
Young. Excellent stuff. Just managed around the line. Some quick passes, and the Dolphins weren't quite defensively ready for that. Didn't take as long. So for the game, Townsend here, 33 minutes, tied up at 4-4. I don't see him missing this one. He does. He doesn't make it. Chad Townsend.
Chad Townsend isn't a good kicker, though. He's not a good kicker. And I'm not saying that to offend him. It's just that if you've seen him kick before, he's just not that guy.
He's not that guy. Tied up at 4-4 here. 6 minutes till the break. I feel like we're going to see both teams start to settle down here. You want to conserve your energy and your efforts for the next half so you can get your rest, get some subs in, and then just pretty much reset for the next half. Swap sides. That's a great hit from Wong. Good offload. Watson in a little bit of space.
Now, this is what I was talking about the Roosters, how explosive they can be when they get the momentum, and that's just what's happened. And then one line break, and I think they're in for all the money here again.
Well, they've got 3 more to burn here. Wong, another massive push. He doesn't run out of batteries, does he?
Doesn't seem like he does. Seems like he's running off of an energy drink like 24/7 with how much he runs the ball and how
He might
explosive
do.
he is.
Great effort to get up and get that. Can Young get it away? No, he can't. So that'll be them done on the 5th. Handover now.
I mean, not letting the Dolphins get the kick return is quite a great move from Young, because they have the explosive wingers and then they have the hammer.
Speaking of those explosive wingers, Farnworth finds himself out there. He's not as quick, but he's certainly got the pace to string together a deadly kick return. Because, yeah, I think that's an excellent point. Strategically, you don't want to be giving those wingers, and certainly not the hammer. You don't want to give him any space more than you need to.
100%. He's just one of those players who can cause impact so quickly.
Bit off kick here from Nicarima, not his best.
And will we see the Roosters capitalize off of this?
I think you just might. We've got 2.5 minutes left here. What can they muster up? They've got a bit of space. If we can get a step here, not quite, but that gives a reset. Chance of them to settle into this. We've got 5 tackles and 2 minutes. I don't know what the maths is on that, but what do you think?
Definitely think your maths might be right though.
Does 5 times 2 equal 6?
5 times 2 does not equal 6.
It would appear not, as they're getting caught up here. We've got 2 more to burn. I don't think. No, yeah, I'm not seeing them getting it down here unless we see Townsend put it up. Yeah, we see him put it up for a winger. Offload? No, that'll be it from Teddy.
The Roosters have done really, really well to fight their way back to this game. 4-4 going into the half.
Oh.
I mean, Asako definitely could have set the difference, but then no one was expecting Chad Townsend to do anything after all.
Well, should they have gone for the field goal while they had the position? Or is it too early in the game to bother thinking about it?
Too early in the game to bother thinking about it, in my opinion.
But if it's there and you've got a minute, do you just... And we find ourselves back here in the second half. We've had a tie contest, 4-4 at the 40 minutes. We find ourselves Dolphins and Roosters. It's been a really tight match. Not a lot of give between these two. You can pretty much... You can segment the game that we've seen so far into 2 halves. You had the first quarter where the Dolphins were just giving it to the Roosters, and then second half you kind of saw a more even contest as we saw the Roosters kind of settle into the game, and towards the end really giving the Dolphins a run for their money, getting those 4 points on the board. Both of our conversions missed on both sides, so we thus tying us up here at 4.
Yeah, Siwa Wong definitely proving a difference for the Sydney Roosters, just getting him into the game with his damaging runs, and pretty even game. And the Roosters look to start this half off actually with a great defensive set, and not the way that you want to end your set, losing meters and only 23 gained off the kickoff set.
No, it's been a really tight contest. Though you can see it's difficult to gauge because I'm looking at the stats here from the half we've just had, and it's on paper it's really not an even contest. But from what we've seen, and what you can interpret with your right brain, it's been even. But I'm looking here. The Finns have had 55% possession, and they've really forced Roosters to defend. We're looking at an extra 20 tackles to the Roosters. 55% possession for the Dolphins. It's not an even contest. The Dolphins are looking like they're going to come away with this one. They're probably due to score sooner than the Roosters if you're inclined by the spirituality of symmetry. But I don't know how to call this one because my eyes are saying it's a tight one, but I'm reading it's a Dolphins win.
Yeah, but you can. Yeah, but the Roosters. It's all been the Roosters since the rain stopped. It's just that the Roosters are fighting themselves back into this game, and their defense has been such a strong point. I don't see the Dolphins scoring first. I see the Roosters scoring first. If they can just have some flashy attack with that big hit there, the defense is no slouch at the moment.
No, well, we'll see. It'll all come down to if they're able to carry that tension they were building towards the end of in the last sets of the second half, because it was coming. More points were coming for the Chooks. We'll see if the break disrupts that. What were they up to? Were they on the bikes in the sheds?
Or were they getting the spray of a lifetime? As Daniel Tupou with a great step there, almost beats the fullback.
Nearly gets by 2 there. Smith spreads it up to Townsend. Townsend up to Crichton. Crichton stopped at the gates. Just shy of the row 40. Docker Clay makes a scoot and runs for it. Cheeky 10 meters for his side there. 3 tackles left to burn. Townsend spreads it up toward the middle. A little bit of room there. Docker Clay again. Yeah, I don't know. You've got kind of a flashier, faster side in the Dolphins, and it's really evident in the way they've played. As we get a ball return from Asako, just didn't calculate where to go in time there, unfortunately. But then you've got the Roosters that play a really classical brand of football. It's slow, it's building, hard work pays off, kind of football. So it's an interesting mesh here.
Yeah, you definitely do see, but now the Roosters are just really capitalizing off of how well they're defending, and their attack's just been a bit flashy. But I think the coaches have sent in their messages, and we'll start with Trent Robinson's message. He's just asked for his team to have some integrity in his attack, and Christian Wolf has consistently get down to the field, and for our attack and defense, just not what they want to see there with with a mistake.
Yeah, unforced error there from the Dolphins. Again, just overcooking it, and that's what comes with these styles, because you're going to see when you go hard and fast at the start, you're going to be worn out at the end, and you're not going to be able to play your brand of football, which is going to throw your team out, and you're going to struggle, especially in a tight contest like this, if you haven't gotten all those points on the board.
And
Whereas
that's
the
exactly
Roosters,
what I said.
yeah, it's a building
And now
style of football.
Tedesco's in.
There he
And
is.
this is just exactly what I said. If you start fast against the Roosters, you need to know their game off the back of your hand.
You got to
right
pile on
hand.
points early on
Yeah.
while you can. But if you can't,
They'll make you pay.
and here we are, Tedesco slams down the gauntlet. Townsend right in front. He should be able to manage this one. We're going to be looking at
If he
14.
misses it, he's the meme of the year.
He absolutely slots it. He heard you and puts it away.
Chad Townsend, you better not ruin my multis.
Unbelievable.
Back to you.
Back to me. Well, it's back to Osako, who's going to get us kicked off again. Roosters starting to really build the pressure now. You're starting to see, as we get into our 50th minute, that maybe that's how we're going to go, unless the Dolphins answer back, which they could do. The rain started again. That was favouring them before. I don't know if you're a superstitiously inclined individual, Ethan, but I feel like the rain could be a good omen for the Finns.
I mean, it's just they're holding the Roosters back now. Just who knows how the way that the wind's going, the Roosters could have the advantage.
Well, we saw the... Oh, that's a cheeky little kick. We'll see what Hammer does with that. Doesn't get too far. Not his best work. Stone makes a great run. I thought he was going through for sure there. Marshall King back to Kakawa. And Hammer's
risky
found
pass.
space. Great little flick. Could have gotten an offload there and kept it going, but we've got 3 left and 20 meters. Inside ball to Nikarima. he going left or right? He's going to go left. Short one to Katoa. Katoa cuts it out to Hammer. Little run from Tupou. And now we were left with, well, oh, pardon me. We're left with one more here. The pressure's getting to me. Great pickup from Hammer. Can't quite. No, he's offloaded it. And just inches short. That's agonizing for the Dolphins. Really exciting passage of footy there. Collins nearly gets himself through the line. Crichton just finds a hole there and just exploits it. Straight back to the 40 for the Chooks there. Hammer getting a little overzealous with the hold.
Yeah, that's what Angus Crichton's going to do. He's just going to find that space and then just make you pay with it, that space. He's just such a great player, and the Roosters have such a great offensive system.
It's all gone backwards with the Roosters since the rain started. You've got props finding holes and fullbacks pushing the line. I don't know what's going on anymore. Nat Butcher returns to form for a forward. Just making a big push, doing the work for his team. Balls flick back, Townsend throws it back further.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a forward sidestep.
It could be coming. That's a great tap back, and that's more points for the Roosters. Tedesco just
James
finding
Tedesco
the way.
Over for a second. Now this is just going to be a one-sided second half. And the way that the Roosters have started it, and going back to your point about props finding holes, just say if a prop finds a hole and he's one-on-one with the fullback, why doesn't he just barge him over?
You do wonder. It's no, he's got that 16-4. 25 minutes to go.
You also think why Sandon Smith is a better kicker in my opinion than Chad Townsend. I don't know why he's not kicking.
Is he carrying injury?
Maybe.
Is that keeping him off the tee? Because you really don't want to be putting more pressure through a foot than you need to. If Townsend, he's not as exotic as maybe a Cameron Munster, but he's gonna make most of your kicks if they're in front, if they're placed well.
Why'd you call Cameron Munster exotic when you're talking about kicks?
Oh, look, I was reaching for a name there. I had nothing. Nothing came to mind. Say JT. My apologies. Nichols caught short there. 4 more to burn for the Dolphins. They really need one here.
If anything, you're better off letting Paul Vaughan kick one.
Give it a go. Give Fatty a kick. Let him have it. I reckon we really should. We should do like a retirement origin match.
Where Paul Vaughan's just on the sidelines.
No. He's on. He's between the sidelines. Put him on.
When he gets subbed off.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be in like 23 seconds. That one's.
I think we should.
And we do have a report in. Ray Stone has been suspended for 2 weeks for a late shot. Now it's Nafau White. Nafau White makes a great break here.
Yeah, massive run. A very quick switch of momentum there. Dolphins did not need that. They're running out of time and out of options here. Tedesco gets a great quick ball straight to the chest. Great. And here he goes again, making a 10-meter push.
He's such a good veteran of the game. He just understand his game has grown so much.
It all comes down to just they learn. It's like a language. The language of rugby league. You learn where to be at what times. You learn when players are signaling their intentions, and you can just exploit it. Smith out, little grubber. Just picked up, cleaned up well on the 5th, and again they're declining the Dolphins the opportunity to run out the fast players.
Yeah, definitely. The Roosters have just taken over, and with the great pushes from the backs are just getting 10 meters in post contact every time they get the chance, and they're holding the Dolphins back so well. I don't see the Dolphins even getting close to their line.
That's it. No, it's smart footy. Just strangle them and suffocate them at the back, because that's where the majority of their meters were coming from early on. Is they were getting the kick returns and they were making 40 meters just like that, and the Roosters have cottoned on and they're stopping it at the source. Massive kick from Katoa. That's a great kick there. if it doesn't go too deep. No, it's perfect. Perfect kick, and the Roosters run it dead. Collins just too excited on that one. That's a massive play from the
The
halfback.
thought is, why didn't Tedesco go for it? Because Tedesco could have got it like 5 meters and he would have
Whoa.
had space to turn it around.
Here's Hammer again. What can he do? He's going to pass it off. Didn't want to run into the wall of forwards rapidly approaching
I
there.
think
Fair enough.
CR Wong's back on.
So we've got changes coming in at the 60th minute. Playing the ball for Marshall King. Spread to Nicarima. Bench forward will take that one down. 3 more to burn for the Finns. They need it here. If they can't capitalize here, I don't see them coming back. Spread to Nicarima. Nicarima caught just before he can do anything with the
Nicarima
ball.
just need the pass.
Really
He
needs to get
had
that one off.
Herbie.
See Stone. Stone, of course, suspended. Just going to take him dead. Again, declining the kick return. Do you think there's much reason? Do you think it's we're giving them too much credit? The Dolphins declining the kick return there. Is there much thought behind that? Are they trying to stop Dom Young? Are they worried about that? Or is it just ran out the clock?
I think they're just running out the clock. Because Dom Young, on his day, he's really quick, but letting him find that line break isn't too hard to stop because he's not a very good stepper with the ball.
Oh, that's a massive push. Big up the middle. Hammer saves it.
Lafayette White slotting in like Spencer Leniu wasn't even missing.
Oh, what is this ball playing from the forwards? Look at him go.
Mate,
It's
put
just
him in the halves.
unbelievable. Put him in the halves. Lindsay Collins for, get Townsend out of here. Put Lindsay Collins at a 7.
Put Victor Radley. Have you seen his kicks tonight?
Yeah, so I'm thinking we're Victor Radley at the 7, and
And then we've got
we're
Lindsay
doing
Collins
Collins as a 6. He's a ball playing 6. It's just unbelievable.
And then they're too quick as well.
Truly, see, what are the Dolphins doing here? They're just tossing the ball around, waiting for space to open up. But the Roosters, they're too smart for that at this point in the game. They know they just have to stand still, and the Dolphins are going to play themselves into a knot and get nowhere.
100%, and we're not seeing any life from the Dolphins here. We're just seeing the Roosters.
No. It's coming up. Coming up red and white for the Roosters is late in the half. We got just under 15 minutes left. Hope isn't lost. That's a great run for Tedesco. I dare say hope isn't lost.
And you also have to think. Think of the first 10 minutes. That was all the Dolphins. With
They've showed their cards. Oh, a great step, big error. That's a miracle passage of play right there. That should not be back in the Roosters' hands.
It's ruled a Dolphins error, actually.
Really? Well, I guess it's the rub of the ball. It's how it comes up, but an error that should not have benefited the Roosters there.
6 again. 6 again all over again.
That's hit. Dom Young wrapped up. Just hanging out on that right edge. Waiting for his turn. Put on his back there. Welcome to rugby league. Watson towards the middle. Townsend nearly finds himself a hole there. He should have just kept running, kept his eyes down. Fifth options here. What do they got? What's your read?
And then, it's Lindsay Collins.
Lindsay Collins again. He wants to.
Oh,
it's basically, we've seen this side before. Lindsay Collins gets in the air above Hammer and just completes the job.
If that would have happened, I think Hammer might have not been. I think Hammer might have been in trouble if Lindsay would have landed on him from the air.
It's a career-ending blunder. I mean, look, we know he can fly.
Yeah, let Lindsay fly.
Let him fly. Bit more spreading the ball around. Space for Kafusi now. He hasn't had a run in a hot minute. It's a cheeky offload. Bit of a coach killer there. They've got one more kick. If we can get another massive boot from Katoa, where is he? Are we going to see this one go to him? We are. No, Nicarima. Not massive, but it's enough if they can contain Tupou. They can. Townsend spreads
Oh,
it back into Watson, going not much going on that one.
they're
10 minutes remaining on this
strangling
one.
them. They're strangling them from possession at the moment. It's
Yeah,
just
it's the
great.
stats really going to level out, I think, because we started this half with 55% Dolphins possession, and the Dolphins just haven't had any ball. They've been giving it away. They've been running it dead. It's Fins are not up. That's a great bump off for some more meters there, and a cheeky offload.
What's some more meters?
More meters. They're flowing now.
Meters,
Roosters,
meters, meters.
they wanna really put this issue to bed.
Not a great kick. Comes up with a great catch though.
No, but it's more space than they would have given them if they just ran it dead. This gives the Dolphins a little bit more room to create. We'll see what they can do with it. I think time's run out for the comeback. But we can definitely see Avarillo great little run, gets them back into the battlefield.
Yeah, and if you think all this momentum started for the Roosters when Avarillo did throw that intercept.
Here's hammering some more space. Can't quite get away, just barely. Agonizing for the fans back at Redcliffe. We've got 2 more to burn here. I dare say you kick early here. We see what we get. No, we see a run from Stone.
Oh,
That could be big.
what
They're
are
going to
you
take the 2.
doing?
It's an interesting call from the field. I don't think Wolf will be too thrilled with that one. I don't know what the thinking is here. If you
Oh, I
want any
think the
chance of a
trainers
comeback,
signaled that.
I guess you do get a reset after this if that's what they feel like they need. But there's just not enough time.
You just need to tap and then just test the
You've got to
rest.
tap and get on with it because they're in a unique position here with the way the points are, where they're only 2 tries away, and there is time for it, but not quite after that because now they still need to get it down twice, and they could have done it once there with a minute investment. So
Yeah, definitely.
maybe an error there in one dimension where another timeline where they're able to get it down there. Maybe that's the difference, but I think in the world we live in, this issue's settled because of that. Kafusi
Now,
nevertheless runs it up the middle.
it just seems to all be working when the subs come on and then Lelu just gets leveled and then just been the story of the game. Getting leveled and then just not having a great set.
No, I think who's let down the Dolphins today? Is it the forwards? Have they not created enough space for the backs, or have the backs underperformed in finding their space? Or option C, have they just been choked out by the Chooks today?
I mean, I see a world where it's A and C because the Roosters forwards have really just choked out the Dolphins forwards. And then you have James Tedesco who's just got them on a choke and then who's just got the Dolphins on a chokehold.
Yeah, no, it's become a brutal affair, especially towards say the third quarter of this match. That's where all the Chooks points are. But you just see, I think the backs haven't had room to operate because of the work, the attack work that the Roosters have done. Defensive attack has almost been what it is, just keeping them in. A little bit of space for Turbo here. He's not going to get far. But yeah, they've just suffocated the backs, and that's put the Dolphins to sleep.
100%. It doesn't look like there's much life in the Dolphins or the Roosters at the moment.
As you say that though, Hammer's found a little bit of space, and he could. What's he going to do here? Can he get away? Just barely. Maybe a kick. Could have got him sorted.
If you think they're in this situation and they've scored that try earlier, we could have been seeing a golden point game, but
And that's exactly it. The decision to go for, if they score here, the decision to go for the 2 is a fumble. Big one here. He gets under it. He goes the wrong way. Just doesn't quite get there.
and looks to be the Roosters to end off the game with the ball and win the game.
Yeah, massive punt there from White. White's had some really great runs this match.
Mm.
Credit to him. He's been thick and fast for
He's
an 8.
just he doesn't care what the time is on the clock. He does. He's not stopping till the fat lady sings.
No, it's a really good effort. I think for the Roosters to not be dissuaded by not being the first points, oh, that's a great little run. He probably could have held on to that. And that'll be us today.
Oh, I won't.
One more play. One more play. What do we got here? That will be us today.
Great display from the Roosters. Great. Just getting themselves back into this game, winning the 50-50s, and then the forwards. What a great second half. No, it all turned around when the Roosters bench forwards came on, and back to you to go through stats.
No, yeah, it was truly, it really was an effort of consistency, playing out your plan, and that's what the great sides do. You've got great coaches that, great training staff. Clearly, that they develop these plans, and if you just see them through, you stick to the book, and this is what you end up with. As we were saying before, the possession has really leveled out. The Roosters really brought it back because this was 55% favoring the Dolphins, just at halftime. And yeah, we've really leveled out here. You can see Roosters, they've done a lot more defensive work. And it's paid off for them. They've played the long game. Dolphins just not quite good enough to get through them today. And with an underpowered squad, it's quite an achievement for the Roosters. They can enjoy this win. And I think that'll do us. Thank you very much
Have
for
a good
watching,
one.
everybody. Have a good one.